Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
Hello and welcome to the UK Natural Health Show. I'm joined by my amazing co-star, Jess. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks, Gurds. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So what have you been up to at the moment?
Well, lots of things. Just developing an employment well-being business with my other half, which is brilliant. So we're full busy with that. Gathering of Mind's anniversary is on the 6th of September, so it's right around the corner. So a lot of amazing stuff going on there. We're going to have Simone Vincenzi coming to play the didgeridoo as well.
Oh,
We're
wow.
going to do a massive peace meditation as well, like right at the end.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's all about the collective consciousness. But yeah, man, so that's what I've been up to. It's been really busy, and then we've got the lucid dreaming retreat as well.
Oh God, yeah.
So it's all go.
Wow, amazing, Jess, amazing. So I think we should get on to who we've got on the show today. His name is Gordon Fraser. I actually met Gordon at an event a few months back, and his just life story really inspired me from where he came from. He had a very similar background to like kind of where I grew up in up north in the sense. And I'm actually within the industry that he is in. But Gordon Fraser is a successful entrepreneur within the health and wellness industry. But kind of this wasn't always the case. He went through multiple jumps searching for his passion. And he was kind of disgruntled with the life that he was currently leading at that moment.
He decided to do something about it and took a leap of faith into the unknown. Very brave. Gordon joins us on the show talking about his hardships and how he overcame them to be successful and turn his life into a dream. How did he find the motivation and what did it take to make the break? Gordon joins us now.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
So thank you for joining us, Gordon.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
It was great meeting you a few months back, you know, just learning how you've become such this great entrepreneur, where you came from and how you kind of changed your life. So I kind of wanted to ask, what was the pinnacle moment in your life that made you want to make a change?
Well, thank you. It's a very good question. And there hasn't been one definitive pinnacle moment that has required change. It's a little bit like if you've ever seen, you see a picture of Mount Everest and on its own, and you see a magnificent mountain, and you know we can all appreciate that. And if you saw that, if that was a metaphor for a change in your life, you go, what was the big moment? But actually, before you can even get to Mount Everest, you've got to go past a series of other mountains. And I guess there's been a series of peaks or pinnacles on the mountain range of my life that have all impacted on me and brought me to different stages, which have allowed me to make different changes. So there have been, I mean, that goes all the way back to childhood, and the choices that we make at school, the jobs that we take, how long we stay in the jobs that we move to until we get to the point, if we ever get to that point of wanting to create a significant change. So there's been a number of changes, but I can talk about maybe one specific one that took me to becoming an entrepreneur, if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. So what was it that you were doing before, Gordon, before you made a big change in your life to what you're doing now? What was it that you were doing before?
Well, when I was at school, I grew up on the west coast of Scotland, and I'm in my 40s now. So growing up in the area I grew up, it was a small town on about maybe 20 odd miles from Glasgow, and a fairly small commuter town where the industry was distilling. It was whiskey, and obviously a commuter town to Glasgow as well. But other than that, it was pretty much a town that had seen kind of like better days, and the opportunities in the town were very low, were limiting, and the biggest opportunity really was to move to the city. And in that environment, I wanted to be an actor. That's what I really wanted to be. But of course, have you ever seen the movie Billy Elliot?
Yes.
It's kind of, I'm not saying my life was like that, but the preconceived ideas and opinions of other people were maybe not very supportive of the arts in terms of making that a career choice. So I decided not to be very vocal on what I really wanted to do with my life, and what I really wanted to do is be an actor, be into the arts. So because I hadn't made the choices to follow my passion, I ended up doing jobs like just standard jobs to make and earn a living. And I think that happens to a number of people in life. Is they just fall into jobs that are just there. The job turned up, and they got the job, and they're making the money, and then you get trapped in that, paying the rent or paying the mortgage, your car payment or your rail fare, your bills, going out, and the next thing you're kind of stuck. And I kind of find myself in that environment. I am quite a good talker, and I like people, and I have a fairly good energy, and so it was obvious that sales was a good environment for me to be in, and that's what I did. So I worked the corporate ladder, and my first couple of jobs were insignificant, and then I got into British Telecom, and then I moved into Yellow Pages from BT, and then into IT software with a company called McAfee. And I worked in those different corporations, and I learned loads of fantastic things. So they were all, when I worked there, that was, the last time I took a paycheck, I think, was the year 2000 or something like that. So these were the days where these companies had a lot of money. The economy was a lot different. There was an awful lot of investment into people. And so, I wouldn't say I thoroughly enjoyed my experience, because if I did, I'd still be there. But it was an okay experience. I knew I didn't want to be doing that forever, but it was an enjoyable experience, and I learned a lot from it.
Gordon,
yeah.
I'm just wondering, it sounds like this is really positive, you were obviously soul searching, doing lots of different jobs, and then finally moving on to something that you enjoy doing and that you're actually really, really good at and successful at. But did you have days where you woke up and you just thought, I cannot do this anymore, I'm really fed up, I'm stuck in a rut, I'm having to do this, rigmarole every day to pay bills, and I'm not happy? Did you have that go through your mind at all at any point?
Oh, absolutely, I did, and that was actually my pinnacle moment that I was going to share with you. Was I'd been headhunted into McAfee, and I'm not IT savvy. I could barely turn on a computer. I knew how to work email, but and do a online Google search sort of thing. But that was my kind of limitations where it came to IT. I knew nothing about anything else, and I got headhunted into the company and as an account manager, and I did my best to really understand how the products worked that I sold, and I hit my target and all the rest of it. I wasn't really passionate about IT software, and so I kind of I had a really good wage, but I had to commute quite a distance to work, so I got up at about 6 a.m. at the latest, and then I was in the car say 6:30. Whatever, to get to the office for 8:30. So I was commuting from Epsom to Slough every day, there and back. I don't mean that about Slough. I mean
it's all coming out.
It's okay.
I mean about the commute. It was 1.5 to 2 hours there,
Oh, wow.
and the same back.
Oh.
That's no quality of life, is it? Before you've even gone to your job, right? If you've got to do a 4-hour travel day.
Yeah, it's 4 hours out of my day every day. So it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 hours of travel per week, which I didn't get paid for.
To go to a job you hated.
The office, and I did a 40 to 60 hour week in the office. So like I said, I got paid really well for it, but lifestyle had suffered. So one day, I think it was 7:20 in the morning, and I just got on at junction 10 of the M25, A3 M25, and I was sitting in traffic. I was in a traffic jam at, it just gone past 7 o'clock, and I remember just literally sitting in the car, and I used to listen, ironically, to this radio station called Liberty FM, and which is kind of pivotal, because I was sitting in this is on, and I'm looking around, and people are smoking themselves, clouds of smoke in cars, and there was people with doing their makeup in their cars, as you see, and just people lives ground to a halt in this traffic jam, and it was in that moment I literally had an epiphany. And I thought, I'm literally going to have to change something. If I don't change something in my life, I'm going to be like one of these people in the future. You know, like frontal lobotomized or smoking myself to death or on a course of antidepressants. Certainly my lifestyle wasn't any good, despite the money I was making. I was unhappy. So that day, when I arrived into the office, I went to my director, took a meeting with her, and I said, I'm really sorry, but it's over for me. I just can't see myself doing this any longer. And she's like, what are you thinking about? You know, you've got your whole career about. And it was. I was looking at management, and I was looking at doing an MBA through the company. And, you know, I was walking away from a significant income, but I knew in my gut that I wasn't in the right place, or I was, and it wasn't the company. The company was great. It was me. I wasn't born to be sitting in an office and doing all that traveling. There had to be another way of making money, and it wasn't making somebody else rich. It was really to find something for myself, and I did. I quit. I had a few months to serve out my resignation, but yeah, I walked away from it all, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
I didn't have a plan.
Wow. Do you know what, Gordon? I totally relate to that. I got made redundant in 2011, and the moment I got made redundant, I was the happiest person alive because I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And I remember going back to my flat, and I was sliding up and down the hallway, and my flatmate was like, what's happened to you? And I was like, oh, I've got made redundant. She's like, oh no, I'm really sorry. I'm like, no, I'm really happy.
Yeah. That's the thing, you've got to look at these situations in a positive way. And if there's people listening that have been made redundant, you know, maybe use this as a moment to reflect on what you're doing, and maybe think, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And use this time to maybe create something else for yourself.
But also, are you happy in what you are doing? Because a lot of us just do it for the sake of doing it. And just like Gordon and myself and Jess, actually, we've all done things for the sake of it. But Gordon, I wanted to ask, what did you do next? So you left your job. What did you do after that?
Well, I was in a very fortunate position because I was quite a high earner. So I had savings from, you know, because I had no life. I couldn't spend any money. So I'd saved a fair amount of cash, stashed it away. And so I had breathing space, and I knew that. And in the period of time from making my resignation to actually leaving the company, I had come to a decision of what I was going to do. And this ties it all back together in a big bow. And that was, the first time in my life I actually had cash, because I'd always lived hand to mouth. And so when you live hand to mouth, your choices are kind of quite limited in terms of your freedoms, because if you don't have very much money, then every choice you have to make is based on the money that you're making, down to, you know, the type of car that you've got, the type of transport that you take, the type of holidays that you take, the type of clothes that you wear, the restaurants that you go to. You know what I mean? It's all linked about money. So I never had those choices growing up, and certainly I was hand to mouth when I was at all the other jobs. So I had breathing space. So I basically asked myself the question, what have I always wanted to do that I haven't done in terms of a career? What makes me happy? And I knew what made me happy, but I hadn't had the confidence or even the self-esteem to actually admit it to myself. And so the answer that came back was, you know, I want to be a performer, I want to be an actor. And but then the question is, do you have any talent? So, I'm very practical. So, if I found out, I went to like an acting coach or a series of directors, and they said, no, you're rubbish, then, well, clearly I wouldn't carry that on as a means to make my living. But if it was a different answer, if I went to those sources and they said, yeah, you've got something to work with, then it's something I would pursue. So I did. I went for private coaching, and off of the back of the private coaching, I decided, this is the other thing, it was very clear what I wanted. There was 2 drama schools that I had penciled. One was RADA, and the other was LAMDA. But my number one choice was LAMDA. So so basically I'm saying I really both I focused on what I wanted. When it felt right, I went, okay, this is a decision. Okay, I know I've got talent, and it's not me saying that, this is somebody else. So therefore I've got that validation accommodation. I just need to be coached. I need to be trained. So I need to go to school. So I chose Lambda, and I auditioned, and I got in basically. And so I quit my job maybe in March or April, and then I started Lambda in whatever it was, September that year.
Gordon, so what was your mindset like at this moment? Were you very much in a positive frame of mind, or was there any doubts creeping in or anything? And if so, how did you tackle those doubts?
I mean, I did. I had doubts in the sense of I mean, the doubts came. It was almost like having a split personality. You know, you've got most of the time I'm positive, but you know, there are times when I question my decisions. But what I am is I'm a person of conviction. So once I've made a decision, I'm going to see it through. You know, come hell or high water. If I'm really, it's all a case of like. I mean, one of the great things, if you ever been to like one of these, like an IKEA or something like that, you get the wardrobe, you go, no, we're going to make it, and you're like, you get a thing home and you can't follow it, you're like, why did we ever bother doing this? So it'd be easier just to fuck away and go and buy one that's ready made. But I'm the type of person who has to get it done. And so I had moments of, why are you walking away from a six-figure income? Why are you doing this? This is insane. And I wasn't young. This is the thing. I was like my late 20s, so you know, I had a lifestyle that I had built, but I was confident that I could replace the income that I was making in corporate from my acting. I mean, that was naive of me, but that it did see me through. And you know, I was actually okay. Generally, I was okay with it.
So, Gordon, how did your family and friends react when you told them that you quit your job?
To be an actor as well.
To be an actor, yeah.
Well, I had a mixed response. You know, I think most people think I'm already nuts. So,
all the best people are nuts, Gordon.
Exactly, slightly unhinged. So that has never. So people are like, oh, here he goes again. So it wasn't. So my family were largely supportive, I would say. And to be honest, I can't remember. I can remember one conversation I had with one of the guys at McAfee, and he said he totally admired me for my guts, and I took that on board because I realized I didn't think it was gutsy for me to do that. When you're following your heart or your gut instinct, it's just a natural thing to do. But not everyone has that strength of conviction. And so they're scared, and they're doing the job they're doing for the same reasons that I did, but maybe they haven't invested in any other aspect of themselves to find that strength to really do what they want to do. But you know, it was my story.
So you've just touched on something there that I was going to ask you about actually, which is about, you know, some people don't have that in them to be able to do this, right? So if someone sat listening at home and they're stuck in a rut, what would you say to them? Like, why do you think so many people are stuck in a rut in the first place?
I think it's just it's all choices that we make, and I think we get stuck. The rut happens when we just get involved in the craziness of life. I think that we get too busy. We get so busy and distracted and multitasking and stretched that time is. We all have 24 hours in our day, but sometimes we're so strapped for time that we kind of end up going from one thing to another, which ends up from being one day to the next, 1 week to the next, 1 month to the next, and you wake up one day and you're looking in the mirror and you're going, how do I even manage to get to this point? And I don't think that we kind of like make a decision to get to the point that we're at in life. It just kind of creeps up on us. And I think it's because we're not spending enough time with ourselves. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I can understand, Gordon. Like, it's, for example, when we're growing up, when we're kids, we're told, do whatever you want in life, dream as much as you want. When we get to school, we're told to be realistic, and I think that's where things go wrong, because when we start to become realistic, we have targets, and then we're told to get a good education, then get a good job, and before we know it, we haven't really worked on ourselves and understood ourselves as to, who we are. But I kind of wanted to move on to the question kind of more about, so you got into kind of acting school, and then after you kind of set up your own business?
I did.
And
I did. And, I think what the questions that people should be asking at careers advice or at school when you go for your careers advice and stuff, what they say is, what job do you want when you kind of leave school? Or you kind of have an idea of the job that you want when you're choosing your subjects. Really, the question should be, what kind of lifestyle do you want? If teachers were to ask you what kind of lifestyle you wanted, the choices that you make as a teenager with your subjects, and also and a degree of that you feel that's what's there for you, will be absolutely different. Because no one's teaching you in school to go and be an entrepreneur, to be have your own business. They're really teaching you to be part of a system.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
It's kind of broken, actually, to a greater or lesser degree. And I don't think it's working for a lot of people now. And I think that's why the rise of entrepreneurship is extraordinary. I mean, there's so many people with their own business, and so many people who want to have their own business. They're just fed up with work. And it's not that they don't want to work. I think it's the pressures of work that people are fed up with. They're looking for something they can have that's their own, that no one can take away from them, that they can build, that they can feel passionate about, and that is, they can do on their terms rather than on somebody else's beck and call. And, it's so attractive. Being an entrepreneur is so attractive today. I mean, you can only have to look at Dragon's Den to see the amount of people who actually are starting their own business. And there really wasn't any other option for me except to have my own business. It was the natural progression for me after leaving drama school. When you become self-employed, you are technically your own business. And so the only thing was, as an actor, I wasn't making enough money as a business. And that's the thing, is I really looked at myself as a commodity, and I said, is this business working, this commodity of Gordon Fraser? And actually it wasn't. So it was a case of, right, well, how can I make money? And actually I'm not going back to work. I refuse to go back to corporate. I just can't do it.
I think this is it. I think once you've made that choice, right, and you start something up for yourself, even if you're not making a lot of money, like, at least you're free and at least you're happy. And this is the thing. How important is it to enjoy what you do you think, Gordon?
You've got to know what the passion is. I mean, you've got to live with your life with a degree of passion in terms of for your own business. And if you're happy in doing what you're doing, and some people who, if they listen to this, will be happy in their jobs, and that's fantastic. And if you're happy building your own business, that's equally fantastic. But I think that's the most important thing, is being happy, and you'll know what that is. It tends to go without vocation, I feel. The happier you are, based on vocational types of jobs or businesses, such as acting or the arts, or a lot of people who are in nursing. I mean, why would you do that unless it was something that it was important to you? But being happy is so important.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
So, you set up your business, and so obviously it's network marketing. Can you kind of just explain what network marketing is a little bit?
Well, that was the thing, is there weren't very many choices for me. So I was still acting, so I hadn't given up acting. I needed to find a business that was flexible enough to fit around my life, which, as much as so maybe I wasn't acting full time, but I still had a life, and I wanted to find something that would fit around my life rather than my life around it. So the only thing that I could find that was flexible, and for me, for my lifestyle, was network marketing model. And network marketing is very significant industry. It's light bulb moment, going off in someone's head because they go, well, yeah, absolutely, this is perfect for my life. But it's a word of mouth business model, so you really only hear about it through someone telling you about it. And in effect, what network marketing is it's a distribution model. It's a manufacturer of a product, and you're selling it, distributing it direct to the end user by cutting out the middleman. And there are a number of very successful network marketing companies out there, and I'm part of one. In fact, the company that I'm with is known as the jewel in the crown of network marketing because of the ethics of the company, the values that the company has, the prestige brand, very high quality luxury products, and also its potential as a company that is about to globalize. And I was looking for something that was flexible, but was also an opportunity, and something that would fit into my life easily, rather than changing my life. Do you know what I mean by that? So it's like, I didn't want to fill my garage full of liquidizers or something ridiculous that is so like, what has this got to do with me? If you want to do if you're going to have a business, you want it to have something that it has to make sense to you, and it's not going to be it's going to be a consumable product, and it's got to be something that people can are either already doing, or they can add to their life without causing any too many changes.
No, I 100% relate to you, Gordon. Actually, before I started, I'm actually part of a network marketing company, actually, which Gordon is in as well. And I just remember I was targeted for so many years, and I misunderstood it, and I thought, oh, it's one of those, it's a catch. But then I started to do my own research, and what I learned was just phenomenal. The actual network marketing company that we're part of, Jess, the founder, I was listening to his story the other day. He was all about changing people's lives. And to me, that is the most important thing, but it's also helping them to change themselves overall. So what you gain with this is nothing that you would get with your job. They transform you in a way that not only makes you feel better, but also helps your mind to be a lot more positive, and you help others as well.
That's
but
good.
Gordon, obviously you've been doing this network marketing business for a long time now. So kind of what kind of major life-changing moments have you seen with people within the business?
Well, I had one actually this weekend. So I've been part of network marketing for 6.5 years now, and I tell you, it's something that I thought I'd never do. Because I never thought it would be something that would change my life or other people's, come to that matter, because I had a preconceived idea of what it was. So I thought, there's two things. There's network marketing as direct sales, and the company that I'm with is a combination of both, so which is fantastic. But I thought, you'd be going door to door, selling products and making, eking a living. And that's honestly what I thought. And I thought, how am I going to replace a corporate income with this? And that was just me really not knowing. And I know now, after being 6.5 years in the business and having a multi-million pound business, from network marketing with an extraordinary product, with extraordinary people. It's something I don't do on my own. It's for people who like to be part of a team and do like to help people, like you said, it's actually a really good option. Naturally, it depends on the company you're with and what their compensation plan and structure is. Will depend on that. Ours, well, certainly mine, certainly is effort-based, but it's also team-based. So you are encouraged to actually work and help other people to succeed, and in doing so, you get the benefit of your own success through helping other people. And this weekend, I had the privilege of being invited to one of my business partners' presentation, where she was presented with a brand new Mercedes-Benz. She's earned, most of network marketing companies have different levels of success, and some offer a car bonus. My particular company has an association with Mercedes-Benz, which is long-standing, and this my fantastic business partner of mine was awarded a Mercedes-Benz for the growth of her organization. So that was an incredible change that I saw immediately, just yesterday. I've lost count how many people are actually at that level in my organisation, but it must be there must be well over 45 people who have earned a free Mercedes-Benz from within my organisation.
Wow.
So that proves that what I'm doing works, and it proves that it's not just one person who is succeeding, but actually lots of people are benefiting from the success. And of course, off of the back of that, that's people changing their lives and their families' lives. And you know, it's all people's goals are all independent, you know, and different, but they're more tangible. I feel they're tangible with this type of business. It's almost like you're giving yourself permission to really dream again and have something better.
That's amazing.
Which may not be available to you in corporate world.
That's fantastic, Gordon. That's really, really, so motivational. And I'm sure there's so many people going to be inspired by what you're saying. What I want to do, I just want to move on a little bit towards the health side of things. So I just wanted to ask you, how important is it to maintain health to be successful? Do you think it's important at all?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. How important is it to maintain your health to be successful in business?
Well, there are different aspects to running a business. This is only my own opinion, but there are three elements I believe that you have to give attention to. Because one of the things I said earlier was yourself, and that's spending time on your own, investing into yourself. And I think investing into your mind is a very important part of growth. So in business, you want to be investing into your professionalism. So you're always learning, and school is never out for the professional. But you also want to be investing into your spirituality as well. You know, you've got to have belief in something. So whatever that is to you, is something that really ought to be invested into. Having a belief in something is good. And then the third thing is your health, and that in terms of your physical health, and that is looking after your body, what you're putting into your body, the lifestyle you're living, the amount of sleep that you're getting, the quality of your environment. Is it conducive to success? And the people you're surrounding yourself with, how positive are they? And what are you eating? And are you exercising? And all those three aspects coming together can really make you a rounded individual, and certainly a very positive one.
So Gordon, how has your health changed since you started doing what you wanted in life? Because obviously before you were doing a job that you didn't enjoy. What was your kind of health like then and like now?
Oh, that's such a good question. When I, at corporate, we had a canteen, because we all got to work really early. We had a canteen, and it was free breakfast.
Oh, God.
I know. And we had it was a partnership with a well-known fizzy drinks company.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And I kid you not. So I would get in, bleary-eyed, and I'd stand in my queue, and I'd probably have like toast, peanut butter, and jam. That was probably we'd have in the morning. And this is actually awful. But a diet soda drink.
Oh, I'm going to send you something later about diet drinks, I tell you. Don't even get me started.
Every morning, that was morning, and I think I might get Snickers with me as well.
Oh my god!
Oh, I used to be a Snickers addict.
That was my morning, and then lunch. I was in Slough, so we'd either sit in the canteen or you get out. So you'd want to go out, but it's like, where'd you go out? What can you get to eat? So up the corner, up the road a little bit. I didn't do this every day, but I did it regularly. There would be a famous chicken fast food outlet.
Oh dear.
You check those places out at lunchtime round the offices. They're full of executives going, oh well, might as well. It's not going to hurt. But I was still going to the gym, it was like my lifestyle. I was saying I didn't have a lifestyle back then. It was really anything fast. It certainly wasn't nutritious. But my mindset wasn't there. I didn't want to look after myself. I didn't care enough to invest into myself. I wasn't looking in the future. I was looking at the right now. But
guess it was because you didn't enjoy what you loved. So obviously with that became that, I don't really care about myself either.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a knock-on effect. If you're kind of like not enjoying what you're doing, I think it can seep into other aspects of your life in terms of how passionately you live your life. Because, I mean, if I told you that you already know that I was commuting 4 hours per day and I had 8 hours, so 12 hours, that's 50% of my day was doing something I didn't really want to do.
It's crazy, isn't it, what we put ourselves through?
Well, I mean, I think about it, it's insane.
It's silly because life is too short. So why do we do that to ourselves?
I think a lot of people...
We've got to pay the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was going to say that what people want to pay the bills, and if people have got kids, it can be another thing that ties them. Me and my partner, he decided to leave his job. Actually, he left his job about a month ago. Well, maybe it's not even a month ago, but like we were saying, you know, it's best to do it now before kids and stuff come along, because I think it becomes harder for people when they get a family coming along and stuff. But I think there's always ways that people, even with a family and kids and whatever, there's still ways that you can find, you know, something to do for yourself.
But it's just a bit of sacrifice. It's a little sacrifice
and a bit
for a
of
short
trust.
period, and trust. Yeah.
Trust in yourself and trust in the process.
But Gordon, how has your health changed now?
Well, actually, I had to get healthy when I went to drama school, and so it started there. But I was on a budget because I wasn't making any money. The money that I was using my savings to live off, so I was very, very focused on what I bought. And so, coming from a relatively poor background, my mother used to really make a pound stretch. So she really showed me how to use food, like make multiple meals out of like a bit of some mince or something like that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I wasn't a fast food eater when I grew up. It was like a meat and two veg sort of a thing, and then reusing stuff and I could do that. So I put myself on a real strict budget when I was at drama school, and I was eating taking packed lunches and eating homemade, but stuff that I could really stretch, but nutritional but cheap. And so I did that out of necessity. And then when I started making money, certainly now in my company I've got now, again it's super important to be healthy, to help you meet your goals, because if you've got a healthy body, you've got a healthy mind. So now I am super focused. So I've introduced supplements, really good supplements into my lifestyle, like vitamins and protein shakes, and all of which are non-toxic and vegan, which is important to me. So I've introduced them, and of course having more money gives you more choice. And since now I have the choice from building this business, that I'm able to afford good quality meat when I want to. And I don't eat a lot of that, but I'm kind of largely vegetarian or fish eating. But I'll buy organic wherever I can, and I don't eat out as much as I used to. So I tend to want to eat at home and eat healthily. So brown rice, non-fried foods, lots of vegetables, pulses, Moroccan sort of style food, things like that. I've never been in better shape.
Wow. And Gordon, how...
I'm single. So.
Oh, if anyone's out there, looking for someone, there is...
Yeah, exactly.
The UK National Health Dating Show.
It's Gordon's the man.
I hope to be able to show some of my fantastic healthy body at some point before I die.
Oh, bless you. So Gordon, how has your skin changed now as well?
My skin? Well, I look like a 12-year-old. I tell you, what is interesting is my skin is actually very good, but that's partly to do, or largely to do, with the two elements to that, and the three elements actually: good genetics, good products, and I don't go out in the sun so much. And I eat healthily. I drink a lot of water, and I put products on my skin that are free from toxins and petrochemicals, etc. So, and of course I eat well, so I don't have any like skin irritations.
You just touched on
breakouts or anything like that. So I look after myself, look after my skin, and because I'm putting in good things into my body, it's kind of radiating through. I'm happy with what I'm doing, so I've got a good energy around about me, which I think also impacts on the brightness. And if you've got good energy around about you, it kind of transcends into your skin, I guess.
Creates like a glow on your face, doesn't it?
Well, the thing is, your skin tells you a lot about what's going on in your body. If there's something in your body that's trying to get rid of, often it'll come out on the skin as a rash or something. But you touched on something actually that I wanted to mention. A lot of the things we come into contact on our skin, even cleaning products, even shampoos, even moisturizers, even toothpaste, they've all got horrendous chemicals in. I mean, if you Google any one of these ingredients, I mean, come on, Clive de Call actually says, if you're not going to eat it, don't put it on your skin. So with that in mind, I mean, the toxins that are in skincare and beauty products, guys and girls, it takes 26 seconds for anything you put on your body to go into for anything you put on your skin to go into the body, right? So
into your bloodstream.
So this is quite serious. So what do you think of the skincare industry and the chemicals that you use in products?
Well, I was actually aware of this years before I started my network marketing company. I was aware of petrochemicals in skincare and animal products and animal byproducts. Can you imagine putting a product? Can you imagine putting a product in your skin and it's not halal or kosher or something? It's got animal products, not byproducts in it, or petrochemicals. You'd be shocked, but you don't expect to have that in your personal care products. And who even knows the potential effect long term from exposure to chemicals? We just don't know.
Well,
it's better just to abstain than actually to use them. So I was using healthy products. I've been using healthy products for many years. Because it's obviously being acting, it's important. An actor, it's important to look after your health and certainly your skin. And so I'm shocked. Particularly, there's an industry called it's called the animal rendering industry, and it's quite a successful and profitable industry, and it's to do with taking.
Sorry, can you just explain what an animal rendering company is?
Well, there's basically what it is. It's a company that will take, the parts of an animal that can't be eaten, like the bones and bits and pieces. So the skin of a cow could become leather, so that gets recycled. The hoofs we already know goes into glue or gelatin. We already know that. And then the other bits and pieces can get reused for other industries. Different companies have different standards, but from what I know is, anything from roadkill to euthanized animals from veterinary centres to, animals that have come off of farms that have died of natural causes are all taken to these recycling plants where the best of them are recycled, like we said before, and then the rest of it is all boiled up into like a stew, and then the foam that as if you were like boiling a chicken to make a stock, the foam that comes to the top is a residue that's scraped off and called tallow. A lot of people may have heard of that name, but maybe not sure where it came from. Well, that's where it comes from, and then the rest of the product can be made into animal feed, and the tallow is often sold to cosmetics companies. So you don't really know, where it's going to end up. It can often be seen in your products as classified as natural ingredients.
Yeah, because technically it is a natural ingredient because it's come from something natural. But what on earth makes them think they can put this crap in our stuff that we put on our face and in our bodies is just unbelievable. And how they can even say it's natural is beyond me, because I'm not being funny. Like, it's way past natural. Do you know what I mean? It was taken from something natural, as in an animal, but then they've took this thing and now they're putting it in our stuff. It's ridiculous.
I know. There was a friend of mine was telling me a story about a burger chain recently that had a slogan on their advertising called 100% beef. And I was thinking, yeah, what's wrong with that? And he said, well, did you actually know that 100% beef actually is actually a logo? It's the name of a company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
This is the thing, yeah.
It's nothing to do with the 100% beef in the product.
Yeah.
It's actually a company brand.
Company brand.
With his
Yeah.
company that put it in front of it. So I thought, it's just advertising and...
Clever ways of getting around
we
it.
just don't know. And so, well, basically, what can you do? Well, what you can do is you can find a brand that is values-driven, ethical, and for ultimate protection, you want to get one that's vegan, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, if people want to put, synthetic ingredients on their skin, then that's entirely up to them. But I would just say, just know what they are, what the origin is, and what they do, and so then you have the peace of mind. I certainly don't. I don't want to be putting petrol or a petrol byproduct or a mineral oil, which sounds really, really good for you. It actually isn't. On my skin. So, and I've always been like that, and I've used good products, and I've used department store products in the past, which are green, and it's something that I'm committed to, and it's something that I enjoy, and I benefit from it. So I'm all for it, and I think people should be reading not just the ingredients on their skincare, but I think they should be reading the ingredients on their food that they're eating, and actually asking what the origin is and what is the treatment of the animals that are being used. Is.
It's not even just people in general, it's people within the industry who have no idea themselves, which is scary. But again, we're not really taught about this.
Yeah.
But how did you feel when you first found out, years ago, that there was animal fat in your skincare products?
I was kind of shocked, but I wasn't surprised. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of like, really? Oh, right. I mean, I was kind of like that, but I think that's just because we're so used to, there's so much shock and disappointment and upset in the news all the time that I think you can become desensitized to a lot of stuff, and I feel I was like, it was just like, oh, well, there you go. I mean, what do you expect from mass market? But I was just disappointed, really. But I was informed, which then allowed me to make the choice. But I was looking for, I was looking for something for change anyway. So it was actually helpful. It was like kind of a confirmation that I was made the right choice.
Gordon, quickly before we kind of move on, I wanted to just get your opinion about what you think about the news and kind of about the mind and how it kind of affect people. Like, how do you see the news?
If you live in the London area, we're bombarded by advertisements and news, from your Twitter feed, your Facebook, your radio, TV, newspaper front page. It's everywhere you go. It's like in your face. It's instant, and sadly, it tends to be mostly negative. And I personally don't watch the news anymore. One of the things that I stopped doing is I know what's going on. Well, I'm not like living in a bubble, but I just choose not to depress myself like constantly with negativity. And I clearly read newspapers and I know what's happening, but I'm limiting my exposure to the negativity.
Now, it's great that you said that, because I've started to see a pattern. Anybody who's successful or is positive in life have kind
Doesn't
of...
watch the news.
Yeah, they don't watch the news anymore. And even Gordon, funny enough, being a health journalist, I used to be in that industry where I was in the big mainstream media companies, and I felt negative. I felt so negative, but myself, I've gone away from it. So
it's the best thing to do.
It's about changing your mind as well, not only your skin, your health, but also your mind and the way you see things.
Absolutely, so true. And I say to people all the time, if you want to be more positive, if you want to feel better about yourself, stop watching the news and ditch the magazines and the papers, because they're only designed to install fear and keep people sort of in that system of going along with things. And do you know what? This is a whole new topic. But how important?
I don't have a TV aerial either.
I don't watch TV at all.
So if I watch TV, I'm watching it on catch up. I don't watch TV, so that's another thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't watch TV either. I think everything on there is depressing or makes you annoyed or like just something, there's nothing positive, or you're watching programs that just numb your mind.
Right.
Mind numbing.
And it's something that Nancy from the Positive Society said a few
talking
weeks.
about this. Yeah.
It's the television. It's actually called tell-a-vision. So we're being sold a vision, which it's not true. To control our minds.
No,
Exactly.
I've met Nancy, and she's absolutely right, and she's got a really good alternative to what's being fed out there. For sure.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, it's brilliant what she's doing. So how important is it to help others to achieve their goals, Gordon?
It's the only way, I believe, to be successful in my industry. It's the only way to have it is to invest into people and to help them succeed. So it's everything.
And kind of, how does that make you feel?
Well, when I started my business, I hadn't been on a massive journey with it, so I found it I thought it was a bit funky, actually. It's like, what? I'm all in it for myself, just show me the money. And then I realised that actually it was impossible for me to succeed without investing in people. And so in doing that, you have to invest into yourself. And so when I embraced it, you say you walk the walk and talk the talk. So you can't expect someone to do something you're not doing. And if you're saying, well, read this book, I think it'd be really beneficial to you, or listen to this audio, blah, blah, blah. I mean, clearly you've got to do it yourself. And if you're asking them to actually apply what they've learned, then you've got to be doing the same thing too. So ultimately what you get is massive personal growth and, ideally, successful people. So it makes me feel great. And it's a fantastic byproduct, and it was not something I was expecting.
It's something that Jess said to me a while back, that we rise by lifting each other, and I 100% agree with that.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to help each other out. This is the thing. It's like there's so many people in a rut, or just need a little bit of like help, or just some guidance, or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? And I think people just need to be a bit more compassionate and a bit more understanding. We just need to help each other. But we are via the TV fed stuff. Right, I'm going to call it stuff because I'm not allowed to swear. But we have fed stuff that make us fight each other, when actually the big baddies are like getting away with it all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We need to stick together. We have to stick together and help each other. It's the only way.
It helps if you've got a goal. So the bigger your goal, the larger the vision, ultimately the more people you can impact on. So it's good to actually start off with an end in mind.
Yeah.
So Gordon, if we are coming towards the end of the show, so what kind of tips or kind of encouragement could you give anyone who's kind of listening to the show about life in general?
Well, I would say the tips in general is get 8 hours sleep.
Brilliant.
It's so important to actually regenerate yourself, especially if you've got a busy life. And I know that men and women are wired differently. Men tend to be one thing at a time, task oriented, and women can be multitaskers. And it's often been seen as a good thing to be a multitasker. You can do all these things, and it can be. It's a benefit, but also can be detrimental to having good sleep, good time management, looking at where you're spending your time, and scheduling time for yourself to ensure that you're actually able to. If you have a passion for, going to art galleries or something like that, and you just never seem to get the time to do it, then organise your time so you're actually able to do the things that makes you happy. And I'm just using that as an example. It could be anything. It could be just actually sitting down and reading a book. Finding the time to do that. Wherever it is, it's finding time for yourself. And then in that time of having time for yourself, it's having reflection, to really reflect on where you're at, where you're going, are you happy, and what can you do to make a change. And often it's little tiny things that you can do in your life that can create big changes, long term. And knowing that, if you're focused on change and you really do want to create change in your life, and you're focusing on it, meditating, praying on it, whatever you're doing to achieve change, then it will come to you, it will arrive to you, but you've got to be open to the opportunity when it does. I think ultimately end up in the same place. But it was given, the option was there. So I guess it's doing that. It's believing that anything is possible, regardless of what age you are and where you find yourself in your life right now. Every day, every minute really is an opportunity for you to create a change if you want to.
Brilliant, that's amazing. Well, Gordon, we're coming to the end of the show now. I just wondered, do you have any links that you would like to share with us?
I'm actually working on a new website, so it's done, but it'll be up in the next 6 weeks. So that is www.gordonfraser, that's GORDONFRASER.co. In the short term, I'm on Gordon Fraser on Facebook if anyone wants to connect with me. I've got a public page there, and I'm happy to give any help if anyone wants to get in touch with me.
Bless you, Gordon. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah,
and it's just
great.
Amazing hearing where you came from and where you are now.
Oh, pleasure's all mine.
Oh,
if I can do it, anyone can do it. All you can hope.
It's so true. And it's just about having that self-belief. I think a lot of people lack the self-belief because, like we were saying earlier, they're too busy working on other people's kind of dreams and aspirations and not on their own.
Aye.
That's what I love about network marketing is there's always somebody who will say you're good enough.
Gordon, listen, it's been amazing having you on the show, but we've run out of time now. But listen, it's been amazing having you on. Fantastic interview.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been my pleasure and an honour.
Oh,
all right, you take care now. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
Wow, what an amazing interview with Gordon. It's just nice to hear somebody who's a millionaire and just so genuine and just so friendly.
It's amazing. It's really nice that to hear somebody's story because there's so many people. I think Gordon represents a large chunk of the country because there are so many people hating the jobs and just getting up every morning to go to work depressed. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows somebody, even if it's not themselves, that hates the job, right? So Gordon represents a large portion of the country, and so if he can do it, if he can make that leap of faith and take that chance, anyone can do it, like he said. Really, you just have to believe in yourself.
100%. Anybody can do anything you want, Jess. It's just the mind. It's the games that we play in our mind. As I always say, fear is a prison. Fear will always stop you. So if you want to change your life, you can change it. Like, there's no one stopping you. And sometimes we blame the economy, we blame our parents, we blame our previous relationships. We just blame everyone, but we never look within ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that we need to change. But, Gordon, the fact that Gordon was living that world and he wasn't happy and he decided to make that change, that's proof in the pudding that you can make a change. So if anyone who's listening out there, if you want to change, just make it. It's going to be hard in the beginning, and me and Jess have been there, so you can change your life around. And if I didn't make that change, I wouldn't be here today on this show with Jess talking about these kind of topics that we do.
Absolutely. And the thing to remember is yes, you've got bills to pay. Yes, there's you might have lots of outgoings and stuff like that, but if you're determined and you believe in yourself, you will make it work. Just formulate a plan, guys. Just formulate a plan where you can be like, right, this is find a niche, find something that we need. Just do it. If the worst becomes the worst and it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter. You're better off to try and fail and never try and just look back and regret in your life.
100%. And you only have to look at the older generation. Half of them are, they wish they could go back to our age and do what they loved. But I'm going to be a bit harsh to you guys out there. It's something that came to my mind the other day. Nobody gives a shit about your career when you're dead. So, why waste your life on this? Why don't you just be what you want to be and do what you love? Because in the end, you will be a lot happier and you'll be a lot healthier. But on that note, so it is the end of the show.
It is. I'm sad.
I know. It's always a sad moment.
I like the show.
Me too. Please come back, guys.
Yes. Remember, we are here every Wednesday with a new show at 4:00 in the morning. If you're in America, that's great to check it, to tune in and listen. But remember, it is all GMT time, so do check the time difference. We also on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. and then Sundays at 4 p.m. and then Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Tuesdays 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So do join us on UK Health Radio on the UK Natural Health Show.
Bless you. And you can find us on Twitter at, mine is I am Gurds, Jess is at
Gathering_Minds.
You can also find us under the UK Health UK Natural Health. E is with a 4. And you can also find us on Facebook at the UK Natural Health Show. Guys, take care.
And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.